Reality is a creation of your mind. Train your mind to hack your hologram. Hi, my name is Layla and I am a mindset and manifestation coach, and this is where I'm going to teach you how to get what you want and live a life that's as fulfilling as possible. We're jumping into techniques today. This is the one that's going to work for everyone, okay? Some of the others may work for some people, they might not work for others. This is the one that works for everyone regardless. Affirmations. Okay, I'm sure you've heard it before, but we're gonna do it a little differently. Affirmations, what are they? They're sentences we say that we think. So essentially, they're just thoughts. Affirmations are just thoughts. We have around 75,000 thoughts per day. Most of those happen unconsciously. And our dominant thoughts are the ones that create. When we desire to manifest a new reality for ourselves, we take a new thought and we keep repeating it in our head or out loud or whatever. We keep repeating it until it becomes the dominant thought, even though that might not be natural at first. But as it becomes a dominant thought, it becomes accepted as a new belief in your subconscious, and then it will be naturally produced. It's not enough to say our affirmations once or once in a while and let go. This might get you your manifestation occasionally, but it's not very consistent, and we want to get results here. Otherwise, every single fleeting thought that we have would manifest. Otherwise, we would just have to say something once and have all our desires, all our wishes at once. It's not that simple. You know, if you want to say your affirmations sporadically, you definitely can. But if you want results, you're gonna have to be a little more persistent. What do you want? Decide what you want, and then create a sentence to word it. Whatever you focus on, you're gonna see more of. So you can have something as general as everything in my life is perfect. Everything always works out for me. I always get what I want. I am living the life of my dreams. But if you know specifically you want, like, that fucking person texts me and calls me every day, there you go. If you want a specific sum of money, or if you just want to say I'm abundant, or you want $5,000 by the end of the month, you know, choose a sentence which encapsulates what you want and be intentional about this. You know your mind better than I do, better than any coach does, okay? So a sentence or an affirmation that might work for me might not work for you. You want to word it in the way that you naturally talk. If you're not someone who talks in, you know, you read some of these manifestation books and they're like, I now proclaim all the abundance of my subconscious mind flows to me in riches. Like, if you talk a little more colloquially, a little more casually, then word it how you would naturally talk and target the specific reasons why you think it won't work. So I'll give you an example. If you're trying to manifest a specific person and you're affirming, you know, SP loves me, but there's this story in your mind that they can't commit to you because of their work or because of whatever other reason or because it's long distance. You want to target it specifically to counteract that. So something like SP, so specific person, is so committed to me that he resolves all issues in front of us. Or I see proof that SP is working towards committing more to our relationship every day. I see proof that SP prioritizes resolving all our issues every day. Now, this is where working with a coach can be beneficial because they can help analyze specifically what assumptions you hold about that person or that situation that are tripping you up. It has been found that it takes about 10,000 repetitions for your mind to accept a suggestion and see it as a fact. 10,000 repetitions does not take that long. It doesn't. You have 75,000 thoughts per day. 10,000 is not that much. You can do 10,000 repetitions in one day. You can do 1,000 per day in 10 days. You can do 5,000 in 2 days. It's really about how much do you want it, and if all it takes is you repeating a thought and just sitting in one place for an hour and repeating a thought, like, if that's too hard, then you probably don't want it too much, or you don't want it enough. You can say these affirmations out loud. You can say them in your head. You can write them. You also don't have to say them. you can record your voice and just listen to them. That also works. And I'm not saying that you need to do 10,000, but the more times that you repeat it, the faster it will come. Okay, so this can be something that, you set a timer on your phone and every 2 hours you repeat your affirmations, or every 5 hours you just say them once, Or perhaps you decide to sit intentionally for 10 minutes a day and repeat your affirmations. Try different things, okay? Try and see what works for you. Personally, what works for me is listening to my voice say my affirmations, and I listen very constantly as I'm doing other stuff, as I'm working out, as I'm working actually, I can tune it out, and I use an app called Parrot. It's free, it's very simple to use, download it, record your affirmations, put them in your AirPods and just listen throughout the day. Your mind will be brainwashed into accepting them, even if you're doing other stuff and you're not paying attention. But what works for you might be different, You might find that when you really intently focus on the affirmations, that works faster for you. Others find that it's mindlessly repeating them. Others find that it's writing the affirmations down. Really see what works. But what will work regardless for you, for everyone, is repetition. When in doubt, just repeat. Just repeat your new affirmation, your new story, your new fact. You see something showing up that you don't like? Don't react. Don't give it attention. Don't feed it with your perception. Go within and repeat your new truth. Just repeat. That's all you have to do. And sooner or later, it will be reflected back to you. But the more that you persist, the sooner it will. Now, you might still have thoughts popping up from the old story. So let's say you're trying to manifest a relationship with a specific person. You've discovered that maybe, you had a belief that you weren't important, you weren't prioritized, and this was the belief that sabotaged all your previous relationships. You've identified it with this one. You've decided that this person is worth trying to figure this out with, because if it's not with them, you'll have to figure it out with the next person, because if that's a belief that you hold, you're going to keep recreating scenarios to confirm it. So you go within, you start reprogramming. I am loved. I am always loved. I have always been loved. I am prioritized. I am cherished. I am important. I have always been. And you choose the method of repeating throughout the day. So another tip I wanted to mention, a really good tip is to anchor affirmations to certain activities. So I have certain affirmations that I say on my drive to a certain location. And it's just become such a habit now. I have other affirmations that I say when I shower. I have other affirmations that I say when I'm cleaning up. So I don't have to intentionally put a lot of effort into remembering to affirm, because I've just taught myself to associate certain activities with certain thoughts. Anyway, so let's say that you've chosen the method of repeating I am loved. You understand the importance of focusing on your self-concept, so you start with self-concept affirmations, because how you see yourself will be reflected in the world around you. And then you can use some specific person affirmations. So SP always prioritizes me. SP makes effort to make our relationship work. SP and I are in a happy, committed relationship. But then you have some old thoughts pop up. Maybe by the end of the day, you start having some insecure thoughts like, what if they never call me again? What if they never come back? What if I'm not good enough? What if we never are happy together again? Or whatever, That's okay. It's okay to have the old story pop up. Don't beat yourself up for it. But you bring awareness to that. You bring awareness to your thoughts. Now, this is revolutionary. Within manifesting, you become so aware of all of your thoughts and the activities of your mind throughout the day, whereas before, you mostly thought on autopilot. You weren't aware of most of the thoughts going through your head. They were just coming up from your subconscious beliefs, and they were running the show, And they're very sneaky. They can sneak up when you're washing the dishes or doing something else, you're distracted, and suddenly you start thinking, oh, they're never gonna call me, they never prioritize me, I'm never prioritized, or whatever. You might not have the specific I'm never prioritized, but you're thinking of reasons why they don't prioritize you, and that's confirming that. But when you begin manifesting, you learn that you need to be very aware of what your mind is doing. And you have to stick to your mental diet. That means when old thoughts pop up, you simply redirect them towards the new, more helpful thoughts. And once you start doing this work, you realize it was never about the person, it was never about the money or the thing you wanted to get, it was about you getting to know yourself deeper, more intimately than ever before, and getting to master yourself, okay? You begin to be the master of your thoughts. They don't run rampant anymore, running the show behind the scenes with all these negative, toxic thoughts and delusions and fears and doubts. No, you bring awareness to them, and you say, thank you, but I don't need you anymore. And you replace them with the more helpful thoughts. And over time, these thoughts become beliefs, and it will get a lot easier. I've been manifesting since I was 16 when I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'm 25 now. It's not until a few months ago that I went really deep into manifesting with law of assumption and learning all these techniques. And it was about August this year I started to realize I have to pay attention to what my mind is doing constantly. And it was like a 2-week period that was really exhausting. It's exhausting, paying attention to your mind that often and flipping the thoughts. But it was just a 2-week period, and I knew I had to do it. It's like once I had been shown the way, once I understood what was going on, how I was creating my reality, I couldn't pretend I didn't know. I couldn't turn away from it, so I understood I had to do the work. So I really, really paid attention to my thoughts and very diligently flipped them, and now it's a lot more natural. Now, generally, my thoughts are favorable and helpful, and if they're not, that's okay. I allow myself that grace and, with compassion. If it's something I need to process, if there's an emotion that wants to be felt, I allow myself to feel it, and then when that's over, I jump right back into my new story, and I think my new helpful thoughts, and it's working amazingly. I mean, you just need to try this to experience it. There's nothing that I can tell you that's going to convince you until you try it, and what do you have to lose, okay? So figure out what you want, come up with some affirmations. You can write to me if you need some help. I can come up with some affirmations for you that might be a little bit more targeted, and start affirming. Be disciplined, okay? You're the only one that's going to help you. You're the only one that's going to save you. No one else is coming. Be disciplined. Figure out what works for you. There are apps where you can count how many times you repeated something. I'm not saying that you need to become obsessive about this, but I know a lot of people who have benefited from understanding, okay, it just takes 10K repetitions. I don't need to emotionally attach too much. I don't need to stress about if it's going to happen. I just understand that if I repeat it around 10K times, it's going to happen. And they just repeat it mindlessly while at work, just tapping, tapping, tapping. And usually before they even reach 10K, they get what they were wanting. So have fun. Good luck. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.